This is Jason Verney's podcast. I am Jason Verney. I'm recording this in Jeju, actually Jeju City, in Jeju Island, or Jeju-do, do meaning island, essentially, in Korea. It's Saturday the 24th of June, and I wanted to record something kind of on the spot as soon as I could get space and time to make a podcast. And essentially, although I've recently recorded a couple of episodes of podcasts, excuse me, regarding my arrival. This is my sixth trip to South Korea, and I'm actually here on a filming project, and there'll be some free time as well. But I wanted to record this about a couple of things that just happened to me as I left. I left the hotel where I'm staying currently, and there was a great thing that happened to me, and a little bad thing as well. But I really wanted to just record a podcast so that you kind of can feel what I feel. If you don't already know this, and maybe you're Korean or maybe you're not Korean, so maybe you've not been to Korea or maybe you have been to Korea, so there's going to be different views, opinions on this. Excuse me. So what just happened was I went to Paris Baguettes, a very well-known chain, I suppose, in South Korea. I think it's quite ironic. It's a Korean company, as far as I'm aware, but not that long ago, it's, funny enough, going to have a shop in France, I think Paris. So it's kind of quite funny, really. It's called Paris Baguette. It's all these lovely, weird, or interesting cakes, croquettes, doughnuts, savouries and cheese, sausage, and all these things, and coffee as well. So I just went up the road in Jeju City to buy a coffee and take it to my hotel, and a snack as well. And so then, when I was just walking back to the hotel, and I was just about to cross the first road. It's kind of it's just after a junction. So there's a small bit of zebra crossing, or traffic lights, sorry. And another crossing, a bigger one, to get to the hotel. So there I was, just waiting for the lights to change. I could have run across. Some people do in Korea. If it's not a big road, people tend not to obey the waiting rule. It's not like London. Roads are smaller in London. So there I was waiting, thinking, shall I cross or not? Anyway, and there was a girl next to me. Turns out she was a student. But I spotted on the zebra crossing itself, on the white lines themselves. I saw this. It looked like a phone, a handphone, if you say in Korean, handphone, handphone basically. But yeah. I think that's what it is. Anyway, so I spotted it, and I thought, it's a similar case to mine. It was kind of on the ground. So I kind of pointed it out to the person next to me, because I thought maybe they were going to see it. Maybe it was even theirs. Although it would be a bit weird that it was on the crossing if they were waiting to cross. So I just went over the couple of white stripes to get to it, picked it up, and I felt it was actually ringing, vibrating. So I didn't know if that was just an app or something, or messages coming through. But anyway, I gave it to the girl next to me. I said, look, someone's calling this. I'm also aware that in South Korea, they do have this thing that people get phone calls from strangers, and it's kind of like, it's called phishing, a bit like email phishing and stuff like that. But you can get a call from people on your own phone, saying your daughter or your husband or your family member or friend has been taken, or something bad's happened, please help them. It's a scam. I'll go into that in another episode, I'm sure. Anyway, so I passed it to this girl, and but she just spoke to the person, said to them things like Odi, where are you, and where, etc. And yeah, I said to her, after she came off the phone, I said, we are they around? Or I kind of said OD, and she said, yeah, they're somewhere here. She's a student. She's got a little bit of English, and fair enough. Sure enough, in a minute or so's time, they were crossing the other crossing. The two people that had dropped this phone, so they came up to us, thanked us. The student pointed to me to say, I guess he spotted it, to give me credit, I suppose. It was just, and they were very thankful, and they kind of wandered off. But it was really an example of how safe and how generous and how, courteous, I guess, South Koreans and South Korea is and can be. I'm not saying there's no danger whatsoever. There's 99% most of the time people are honest. If that wasn't me that picked that up, if it was that girl or if it was somebody else, I'm sure they would have given it to a shop. They would have tried contacting the person. I mean, it's probably the best thing to find. It's not like a credit card or debit card where you have no direct means of contact. It's a phone. It has your contacts. If you can unlock it, it has all the details. That's good and bad, but I'm just saying it's a way of retrieving. It's a way of basically calling the number on there, calling anybody on there, texting anybody. So yeah, it was an experience, and I spoke to the student afterwards. Told her why. I mean, she was very shy. I told her why I was here and why. I asked what she was doing and said about we're recording something in the KBS studios on Jeju, Jeju City tonight. So I mentioned that, talked about some other Korean stuff, and funny enough, actually, because she took details on my card, which includes my KakaoTalk, which is basically a Korean app, and some Facebook details. Anyway, so she contacted me as well. I said, keep in touch, blah, blah, blah. So that was that. And it was just a gesture, and it was kind of, I knew it was quite safe in Korea just to, it's like people always tell you these stories of people offering umbrellas when it's raining, and like literally strangers might stop the car and literally say, hey, look, take an umbrella, they're just because it's not the done thing to be bad to people, not unless you're a big corporation or something, and which actually leads me on to the next thing. I went back to my room, and I ate the first bit of grub from Paris Baguette, which was a croquette. I see they seem to like their croquettes here. I like this. It's a vegetable croquette, really nice. Sort of a big round one, not like the croquettes that we have, potato croquettes in the UK and stuff. Excuse me. So I had that, and I was just finished my coffee, and I just thought I'd dive into the donut, because I bought a donut as well. But I mean, I didn't need it. I just wanted something sweet to kind of give me a kick for some recording this morning. I bit into it, and it tasted a bit bizarre. I wasn't sure if that was just the coating and whatever. And then I realised as I was eating it, there's actually some mould on the outside. So for quite a bit of the edge, there was a bit of mould. So I was a bit annoyed. This is Paris Baguette, a big company. I mean, whether companies are franchised or owned, completely by another by people at the top. It doesn't. It goes to show that some of the bigger companies or bigger names, it doesn't guarantee quality always. I'm going to pop back there later just to mention it, and it's not good. I mean, a little bit of mould won't hurt you, but at the same time, of course I can't eat it, and it puts me off looking at that green, blue, turquoisey mould. So that was it, really. A bit of a good and bad that's happened in the course of probably with 30 minutes. Today is actually going to be. I would mention this. Today is actually going to be a day, sort of a half day of recording. I'm recording my voice, you could say, because I need to. There's this podcast and maybe a couple of others, or definitely some I need to put out there. There's ones that I recorded already about me landing in Seoul, and then about me going to the Comfort Women statue in Japanese embassy and making a speech. Yesterday I also did a talk with a 30-minute sort of video and footage of my previous Jeju trips, and I think it went well. I'll be getting the footage from someone who actually filmed it for me. I'll go into that in another episode. But the other thing I'll be recording is literally the narration for my art piece, which will be in Kingston Museum from the 6th, officially the 7th of July to the end of September. Basically, I recorded an audio before, but kind of I needed to improve on it. Some fluffed lines, I suppose you could say. I need to get that recorded, put on a DVD. Somebody here, a friend, is actually taking it back to London because they're going back to London a few days before I am. They're going to give it to the person at the exhibition. Ready to go. I actually arrived back in London on the 3rd of July, and the exhibition officially starts on the 7th, although I'll be going down on the 6th. There's kind of a private view for people that are invited. So it's going to be, I guess, once I'm fully awake. I'm only kind of 2/3 awake now, I suppose you could say. I think I need another coffee. Then I'll be doing that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I just wanted to show you the safety of Korea and the kindness of Korea, and I would say of South Korea, but of course I'm sure North Koreans, even though, yes, I mean, of course they're a bit, they're meant to, apparently they're kind of brainwashed with the leader and all this kind of stuff, but originally they are very kind, generous human beings. That doesn't in my eyes, I don't think there's a massive separation between South Korea and North Korea. Yeah, the people are very different now. The culture is very different. But if you go back 60, 70, 80 years and more, of course, there was so much similarities. I'm really wanting to find out about those connections, back when it was North and South together, when it was one Korea. Anyway, I'm drifting off the subject. I'm going to leave it at that. So I will just say farewell, and I will speak to you in the next podcast. Okay, goodbye.